All right, so welcome back. That was the first part of the video, talking about just three things on how I would approach a luxury brand. Brand, if you're just getting to this video, you didn't see the first part. Just real quick, I was asked how would I approach creating a luxury brand, and so I'm gonna give you three things off the top. It would be personal, right? Use their first name. Try to make the experience with that customer meaningful. The second thing you want to do is be mindful of your invitations, right? Are you use invitations versus just saying, "Oh, here's our reward program." No, we invite you to an exclusive event. The third thing you want to do is think about texture, right? Think about the velvet rope, or think about the red carpet, the velvet drapes. That those kind of textures. Maybe you can create a product that you can put your product inside of a velvet bag as just a giveaway, right? That could be. Those are three things that you could do. Now, all of that being said, that was just off the top. How would I really sit down and approach a brand? And so I'm just going to kind of get into it. I'm going to cut to my screen here in a second. Give me 30 seconds. I'm going to cut this out. Bear with me. All right, we're back. All right, so here's the deal. If it's me, one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to go right to the research. All right, I believe before you build anything, before you start anything, before you make a business decision, almost everything that you do in your business, it should start with research, right? Nobody has the answer, right? But somebody has done something similar or has gotten an answer based on what they've done so far. So I'm big on someone's probably already done whatever it is you're trying to do. I believe somebody has already done it. I think what we're doing, right, is just putting our spin on it, putting our perception on it, our take on it. That's what makes us unique. Again, going back to brand position, right? So someone has already created a luxury brand. What you do now is just go find another luxury brand and see what they're doing. Look at what they're doing. What is it that they're doing that allows me to go, okay, yeah, that's luxury. Yep, that's the feel that I want. Yep, that's kind of where I'm going with it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is jump online and I just Googled concierge service, and I want to just look and see what pops up. And so without trying to go through all these articles or anything like that, I'm immediately just jump over to images. I think images have a way of immediately conveying messages. A picture's worth 1,000 words, right? So, what does this image tell us? So the first thing I see up here in the top left, luxury. I'm gonna click it. And already, just by doing nothing other than Googling concierge service, and then Google is telling me luxury is another option. So I click on luxury and I'm just going to scroll and let's just kind of take in what luxury means. All right, so right up here off top, um, you see these guys getting off a private jet. You got this image right here. All right, private jet. Look right here, concierge service, luxury concierge service, high end concierge, high end concierge. Right here, here's the title of this company, the Billionaire Concierge. So, and I was only looking for images, and as I started reading, I'm looking, okay. So this lets me know other businesses that are creating a similar look, a similar brand. This is the imagery they're using. All right, let's keep going. Let's X out of that one. Let's just keep scrolling. Right here, I think this is a classic image we all know. Um, is black tie, white gloves, right? That kind of a concept. Wearing a tuxedo. So, and here's if we look into it, what are we looking at? We got black, white, gold. I'd argue the silver platter that gives you a color base now. So when you're building a brand around luxury, those are your colors: black, white, gold, silver. Those are four colors that you can use to start to create this idea of a luxury brand. Then you click over here. What do we see? Gold. These gold tones. Concierge, gold. All right. They're just confirming that color again. Here's another image, right? Platter. Black tie, white shirt, white gloves. Images of luxury. High end cars, expensive cars. Jet, nice cars. Say less. We know that that's luxury. So as you're building a brand, think of the images that you're conveying. You can't, okay, now listen, if you're a small business and you take a picture and you're just using your iPhone, no disrespect to the iPhone, I love the iPhone. You're using your iPhone and you just take a picture in your living room with just a plain white wall behind you because, I just want whatever your thoughts were as why you would do something like that. Look, All right, I'm very picky about my lenses and how I choose to shoot things. But anyway, my point is, automatically by not elevating your content, you can't have luxury shooting something with your iPhone, trying to do a selfie and then convey a luxury brand. It's not going to work. You're going to have to pay a photographer. Maybe not. If you know another way, yo, let me know in the comments how you would approach it. But the way that I see it is, you got to pay a photographer to give you that photo, or you learn photography yourself and figure out, how you can take that photo. I would say this: at the very least, put on a nice black suit, or whatever you got. Don't have to be a black suit. You might wear black pencil skirt and a nice white blouse. All right, that black and white combination. Maybe those aren't your colors. Maybe you go gold, right? Whatever it is for you. But I'm just trying to give you in the mindset of, how do we take what we're already seeing out here in the world? Because we already know what these images are. We know what a luxury brand is. You don't have to tell me what it is. I know what it is when I see it. I may not know how to explain it. I may not know how to articulate it. I may not know how to just create it from nothing, but I know it when I see it. I know it when I experience it. And that's the key. You want to make sure that your target audience is really experiencing luxury. So when you create a pamphlet that says, hey, learn more about us, that pamphlet should have these images on it. Even if you don't have a private jet in your company, you still use that image because it still conveys luxury. All right, let's get back into this right here. Still going down the Google here, trying to see what they have for me. Let me X out of that just so I can see more of these images. Here you got this nice beamer right here. Again, even a black and white image, right? So even using a black and white image, here goes another luxury concierge service, right? Look, again, the imagery, white glove, black suit, right? Silver. So you're going to constantly see these images. So already you can kind of get a feel of what, luxury is or what a concierge service is. That's one way that I approach it. Now, how do you then take it from, okay, I got it, black, gold, silver, black tie. How do I really put that into your brand? And here's the key. This is where you really got to understand your product and understand the service, right? Here we go right here. I like this little banner. Same company that I looked at earlier. Billionaire Concierge, luxury concierge services for your VIP lifestyle. Using VIPs, having exclusive memberships, things like that, I think carry, a long way. And when somebody, maybe signs up for a VIP service, maybe in the mail, you send them a nice black VIP card with gold letters that say VIP. It says, welcome to the club, a nice letter that kind of, when they open it up, it says, welcome to VIP. We thank you for choosing our, elite services, whatever those may be. Here's a phone number that you can reach us directly. It's just a letter that you send out. Now what's the cost on that, right? To send out a letter on a nice letterhead. So it's little things that you start to do that begin to resonate luxury with your brand. It's not every day that after a customer signs up with a client, a customer signs up with a business and they become your client, that they're going to receive some kind of invitation or they're going to receive some kind of letter. A lot of businesses don't go to that extra mile because it costs more money. And let's just touch on that point right now. If you really want to build a luxury brand, part of it is you got to spend the money in order to go the extra mile, right? To have a velvet look when they walk into your showroom, if you have that, right? That's extra money that you have to put out. And so a lot of times spending money for the client, whether it's in invitations or whether it's in thank you cards, just sending a thank you card back, spending that extra dollar, yes, it lowers your bottom, maybe it kind of impacts your bottom line. Doesn't have to. I think you can charge a premium for that, but that's one other thing. So it could lower your bottom line, but you're willing to kind of take a hit on the revenue because you're actually going to experience more people signing up for VIP. If you price it accordingly, then that cost is kind of baked into what the premium price of that is anyway. So all in all, you should net a lot higher. But just trying to give you some ideas of how I'd approach it. The first thing I would do is luxury. And once we figure out luxury, I'd then just go down what I just call the brand checklist. And I'd create a branding blueprint. That's everything from your logo. So let's just look at that real quick. I'm just going to Google luxury. All right, luxury logos. And I just want to see what pops up. I like this right here. This stood out to me. All right, so if you're going to create a logo or business cards, you might want to do something like this, where you have an embossed gold leaf kind of feel to it. That cardstock seems like it has kind of a texture. Again, going back to that velvet idea of texture. So creating a business card is how you create a luxury brand. If you hand somebody this card and your logo is embossed with a gold leaf or even a silver leaf on black or whatever color you choose, right? But a black card, gold leaf with your name on it, or just, here's the deal, not even your name. Don't put phone number, don't put hours of operation, just put your logo, right? On the other side of that, you could have maybe one piece of contact information. It might just be a phone number. It could be, phone, name, phone, email, website, right? But minimal is what I'm getting at. You don't want to put a whole, it's not, listen, a business card is not meant to be a flyer. So you don't want to put 101 things on this flyer, especially if you're trying to have this idea of luxury. A lot of times less is more. So, just on one side, just like this, just your logo, right? It's, again, cost, right? It's going to cost more to do some kind of emboss. And for what purpose? And here's the deal. A lot of times everybody's digital, right? I just take my phone and I just do a QR code, or I tap, or they got those, I think they're called poppable or something like that, where they've got wristbands that just, you tap the phone and your information's right there. A lot of brands aren't going to spend the money to try to go get this embossed business card, right? It costs money. And so at the end of the day, no matter what you want to do to kind of present a luxurious brand, I think there are things you can do that are not expensive, which I talked about in the first part of the video, which really just comes down to, using the first name, things like that. There's other things you can do where not everything has to be expensive, but that is an element to it. At the end of the day, I just want you to understand that part of the, the idea behind a luxury brand is that a lot of money is spent on the customer to give them that feel, having additional things that they get. So when you sign up, you might get a t-shirt, or think about the robes that you get at certain hotels with the slippers, right? That's an extra cost. The hotel had to go and get the logo put on a bathrobe, right? That's more cost. So luxury sometimes just, it incurs more cost because you're trying to give the customer more, really more than what they're paying for, to be honest with you. And that's part of it. So let's go back here. Just want to keep looking at a couple of logos. Here we go. I was going to click on that one, but we all know those logos. Just to give you an idea. All right, luxury. All right, here we go again with gold, black, seeing these laurel wreaths. All right, that's another sign of luxury. You think of, excellence, winning a prize. That's what all this gold leaf kind of symbolizes. This is just a luxury brand, right? Using a crown, of course. These kind of, I want to say monogram, I don't think that's the right word. They almost remind me of heraldry. That's what I'm thinking of. Heraldry on a castle, right? There's that kind of brand that kind of stands out when they do that. What else we have here? Yeah, all these. I mean, if you look at it, all these are kind of similar. You have an emblem on black and gold. That's pretty much it for logo. All right, we talked about color. Another element would be typography. So I'm just gonna go right down the list here. Luxury typography. All right, this would be, the fonts that you're picking. Luxury typography. Let's kind of get a better search there. So here's an idea of fonts that you could use. Best free luxury fonts. All right, let's just kind of look at this real quick. So this is called Diamond. This is called Citrine, Quartz. You see all the names here. I'm not going to try to butcher them all, but just looking at, now we're getting into when you build out a flyer, what typeface, what font are you using? All of these things kind of start to convey a message. I kind of like this sapphire font or this diamond font. Those two kind of stick out to me. You might like something else. The amethyst, that looks pretty cool. I probably would use that. So when you say on the top of that letterhead that they receive, when you say welcome and you write it in this amethyst or sapphire fonts, automatically just them reading the letter, or even on a pamphlet or flyer or something like that, instantly just the typography that you used. So we kind of go over the basis of what I look at when I look at branding, those visual elements I talk about. Go back and watch that first video. That's on my TikTok when I talk about the elements of a brand when you're building a brand. Typography, the images that you use, the colors that you're using, the logo that you're using. So all of these visual elements, and I'm just showing you more directly here, and I want to be able to pull all this up. After typography, I mean, that's kind of it as far as design wise. From there, you would just get into layout and how things are get laid out on the page. I would again say there, less is more. Let's just look at it real quick. Luxury, and I'm gonna say design. I have a feeling like cars or something's gonna come up, or hotels, but I'm gonna say luxury design and see what pops up. I knew hotels were gonna pop up right when I said it, and then look what. But okay, I'm glad we're here on this point. So just Googling luxury design, I was hoping to get more graphic layouts to kind of show you, but when I Google it, look what pops up. This is luxury. So when you talk about building a luxury brand, it's this feeling of opulence, right? It's wealth is really what it is. It's all around you. So you got this image here of gold or copper, right? Here's a great example of using white and gold. So they don't use black; they go the opposite way, and they're using white and gold. So just another way to do it. But just looking at these images conveys luxury, and so you want to just use this. Really, just having all these images, print them out, put them up on the board. It's a vision board, right? Mood board, another word for it. You're just trying to get the essence of what this looks like. So having these fancy cars, these nice hotel rooms, it starts to give you a sense of what luxury looks like. Looking at fonts, and when you have all these elements on the page, you start to dial it into, okay, how does my brand represent everything that I'm seeing here? So this is where I would start. Really, it's just with research, and kind of going over those elements of branding, imagery, typography, your logo, layout, things like that, which I still didn't find. Like I want it like a graphic layout. Let me, instead of just luxury design, let me go luxury graphic design and see if that gives me a better, oh, there we go. Luxury graphic design inspiration. Let's just see what that pulls up. And again, you're gonna go right back to this black and gold, but let me try to find something different that's not just in the black and gold. That's gonna be, it's so common to do that. We're so wired to black and gold kind of being luxurious. And that's just part of it. You look at most of these car companies. Actually, okay, I'm gonna do that next. Just scrolling through, trying to find an idea of graphic design that wasn't using black and gold. It's so common. Black and gold or black and white. Here goes a Pinterest, right? Which is another great place to check. I didn't even go to Pinterest, but let's look at what these graphics look like. So here's a quick, can I zoom in on that? Yeah. Perfect. All right, this is why I love Pinterest. But let's just kind of look in this corner over here, or left side rather. Here's an idea of luxury. You got the watches right here. It says behind the name, luxury, the luxury lifestyle. Just a beautiful image right here. Again, black and white. There go the colors with that gold. So this is a way that you would create flyers or graphics. Let's just scroll. I'm over here on Pinterest. Let me see what else we have. Kind of like this. I'm going to back off that though. Let me see. This is kind of cool. Let's look at this. Zoom in on that. Here's another way to do luxury. All right. I would say it's still black and gold. Looks like they have a little bit of gray in there. Looks like that's some gray, which is still part of the black family. No comments on that. But here we go. Another way to look at graphic design. So here's a way you can start to look at graphic design and what your layout should be. All of this says luxury, right? The dress, the lighting, right, in photography. And that's going to be the big key, right? How you light your photos is going to change the mood or change the aesthetic, how it feels. And so be mindful of the photos you're using. That's kind of the point I was making earlier. You can't just grab your cell phone and do a selfie in the living room and then try to build a luxurious brand off of that. You have to really be mindful and intentional about how you're putting that brand together. Every single element that you choose makes a difference to the whole story. So, man, I hope this was helpful. So here, just to kind of wrap this up, basically where I would go from here, once we kind of have the research and we've kind of gathered these different images and we've looked at, fonts that we could use, we would then grab your logo. We'd grab your text copy that you would put on a flyer. We'd start to do some mock-ups for your brand specifically and begin to play with this idea to see if whatever product or service you're offering comes across as luxurious. So we'd create some mock-ups. After we would create those mock-ups, we would then maybe go out into the test market and show a couple of people that could be close friends and family that we know would give us an honest opinion. We might go out onto the street and then ask some people just downtown area, hey, what do you think of this brand? What are 3 words that come to mind? And you kind of want to hear them say, oh, rich or wealthy, luxurious. You kind of want to just test it out on the street and get people's honest opinions. Tell them the reaction is going to be on your YouTube channel as you're building your brand, and have them go follow you. That being said, yo, go ahead and follow me if you ain't followed me yet. I'm just building out this channel. This is what I love to do. I love to build brands. I love to help people build brands. Someone asked me the question, how would you approach building a luxury brand? So I just wanted to kind of deep dive into it, just recorded my laptop as I'm going through my thought process. So this is raw, uncut. I probably will do a couple of cuts here to save you on some time. But at the end of the day, I just wanted you to see my thought process, how I would approach it. Again, like I said, after all, this part of it was just research. The next part would be sitting down with a one-on-one and really nailing down, okay, what's your product? What's your service? How do we position your brand as a luxurious brand? So those are just a general idea. We would consult to get into the nitty-gritty of your business. And then once we kind of honed in on what the brand was, we would launch that product, or we'd launch that brand. We'd let it go for X amount of days, bare minimum with 30. I always advocate for 90. And then you get feedback from there. Okay, was that resonating the way that we wanted it to? If yes, you double down on that idea and you scale it. If not, you tweak what doesn't work, you reload, and you go again. I hope this video has been helpful. Listen, if you support entrepreneurship, all I want you to do is give me a like. If you are an entrepreneur yourself and you want to know how to build your brand so you can increase your profits, look, tap in with me, man. Go ahead and follow me, and let's be on this journey together. Let's build, let's learn, let's grow. So I wish you the best in all your endeavors. Until the next one, peace and love.